Hey guys, Jeb Brooks, greenergrass.com. Thanks for taking just a little bit of time to watch this video. Today's trip report is the first in a series on my journey to Nairobi, Kenya. I'm flying with Star Alliance carriers on a pretty killer ticket that I got that includes a flight out of Dulles Airport to Frankfurt on Lufthansa's one of Lufthansa's new 747-8s. My first time there, and I'm sitting upstairs. From there, I'll head from Frankfurt down to Nairobi on an A330, also of Lufthansa's. And on the way back, I'm coming with Swiss to Zurich, and then United back here to Dulles. So really exciting journey. Can't wait to share it with you. But for now, let's get started on the first leg. Here goes. As far as airports go, it's hard to beat Dulles, at least in my opinion. Even the signage is reminiscent of the golden age of travel. A quick check of the departures board, and I was off to the lounge. Lufthansa has two lounges at Dulles. One, a Senator Lounge, is available to first-class passengers and Star Alliance Gold members, and the other, the Business Class Lounge, was available to me. Down some stairs, and it was a pretty nice space. The food options were okay. Unfortunately, this is kind of below ground. The windows are above you, so I didn't stay long here. That's because a Lufthansa Business Class ticket also gains access to the Turkish Airlines lounge here in Dulles, just down the terminal. Now, I prefer this lounge, and I think you'll see why once we get in. The seating is very comfortable, and the food options were much more plentiful. There's also this cool kind of wooded bar area with absolutely stunning views of the ramp. Like of the 747-400 that was taxiing out just as I arrived. This was the first flight to Frankfurt. I was on the second, and that would be on this 747-8 that, in a fit of German efficiency, arrived almost exactly as that first 747 taxied out. While I enjoyed my time in the Turkish lounge, I headed back to the Lufthansa Business Class lounge because it afforded the opportunity to board directly from the lounge. A pretty unique opportunity, at least here in the United States. It also meant another view of the 747-8 that would carry us across the Atlantic to Frankfurt. As far as I'm concerned, in the world of aviation, there's nothing quite like walking onto a 747 knowing you'll have the opportunity to go upstairs. So as I walked through the downstairs business class cabin, I was impressed with the seating, knowing that there would be even more room upstairs. I'm getting excited just watching the video of climbing these stairs. This was truly a magical flight. I cannot wait to fly a 747 again, especially Lufthansa's. Keep watching to find out what made this flight so special. I was seated in 88A, there in the window. It was a very comfortable seat for the 7-hour flight over the Atlantic. Now, I'll say this, I think flights from the east coast of the United States over to Europe are just too short to enjoy these really luxurious business class products, but we'll do our best over the next few minutes. When my seatmate was sitting down, there was really no trouble getting out or back into the seat. The same can't be said if your seatmate is lying down sleeping. Like some other airlines, Lufthansa offers a step for shorter passengers to reach the overhead bins. Now for some of the magic. The flight attendants noticed that I was taking pictures and invited me up to the cockpit. I felt like a kid in a candy store. It was such a treat to see the 747-8's brand new cockpit. What an impressive office. As Dennis Bunnick would say, cheers to a good flight.
It was a sunny start into a completely relaxed day, and to be honest, it's a bit hard to leave. Do you have similar feelings? Hi, hello, and good evening. This is your captain speaking. My name is Markus Stehle. It's good to see you well on board this Boeing 747, a jet that is giving you space and security that has been so thoroughly checked and arranged by my crew and myself for a punctual transatlantic flight to Frankfurt. Please lean back, make the coming hours, if you like, a bit of quality time. Your Lufthansa crew is happy to have you with us, and we wish you an enjoyable flight.
In addition to the great views, another benefit of sitting upstairs in the 747 is this extra storage you get right here at the window seat. There was plenty of room for my, oversized camera bag. There's also additional storage down here. That's in every business class seat and includes a bottle of water, which would come in handy later. Lufthansa keeps their cabins a little warm. Here in the center console you'll find the tray table, the in-flight entertainment remote, and the noise-canceling headphones, which I'm afraid to say I found to be mediocre. I've grown accustomed to my in-ear Bose noise-canceling headphones, just what I'm used to. I'm a sucker for a good amenity kit, and this one was just that. I liked the case a lot, and it included the basic amenities that you'd need on a flight of this length. Shortly after takeoff, some nuts were provided along with sparkling water and some champagne. A really nice touch, all those bubbles. I also chose to get a little bit more comfortable in my seat, and the adjustments were fantastic, very convenient. As I settled in, I began to explore the in-flight entertainment. The system can be controlled by the remote. It's also a touchscreen, although I found the remote far more convenient simply because the screen was so far away. Not a criticism, just an acknowledgement of the size of this seat. There were plenty in the way of choices when it comes to movies and television. There was also live TV, which is pretty cool when you're flying over the Atlantic. But who has time for TV when the food is coming? And the food on this flight was really good, from the appetizer to the salad onto the main course. Everything had great flavor, it was fresh. It was very impressive, especially considering Washington Dulles is an outstation for Lufthansa. I find that meals from the main hubs of airlines are usually better than when they're coming from an outstation. Another surprise was that the flight attendants brought up first-class desserts to choose from. It was a real treat on this special flight. The upstairs is arranged in a 2-2 format. Downstairs business class is a 2-2-2 configuration, so if you can get upstairs, there's a little more privacy. Speaking of privacy, time for a little shut-eye. See you in the morning. And morning came quickly. Too quickly, if you ask me. This 7-hour flight from the East Coast to Europe, as I mentioned, was just too short for me. What's your ideal length of a flight? How long do you want to be in the air? Leave a comment if you would. I'd love to know. Now, breakfast was fairly basic with some fruit and other accompaniments. Lufthansa offers an arrival lounge that's available on the other side of security. Because I was connecting on to Nairobi, I skipped it and went to another lounge instead, but this breakfast was a nice way to tide me over. Now, another treat on this flight, I asked kind of jokingly of the flight attendants if they had any wings, any Lufthansa wings, and they didn't, so instead they brought a package of toys to tide over kids. I didn't take it too personally. Now, here's a little bit of a criticism. I'm sure I'm wrong, but as far as I could tell, this was the only power source available in the seat. I could not find a universal plug anywhere, only this USB. When it comes to the onboard passenger experience, there are 4 things that are important to me. The seat was wonderful. The in-flight entertainment was on point. The food was delicious. And the cabin crew, well, they were just some of the best I've ever had. Can't wait to fly Lufthansa again. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe. Really appreciate it. See you in the sky.